Yo, all right, man. We back in here. I finally found a moment to jump back up on the mic and on the cam, talk a little bit of boxing. Hope you guys have had a good week so far. I know it's closing in to, what is it, probably like 9, 10 o'clock back in the States, man. A lot of you guys probably chilling at home, had a hard day at work, so I appreciate you kicking your feet up and listening to Divine Sense Boxing tonight. So much love and appreciation. Make sure as you come into the building, you should know the drill by now to get those likes as high as we can, man. Let the people know we're in here talking boxing, that authentic, genuine, raw boxing talk. You guys know how we do it over here on Divine Sense Boxing. And I want to go ahead and give a quick shout out to the people that came into the building, entering the chat early. We got my man Dwayne Freeman. The building was good. Omega Red, Dawn, good to see you. Chavo TV, we got Zelos Newton in the building, was good. Zelos, Big Dog Willie in the building. Hashtag Con the Goat. And we got A1 Hoop Zone in the building, was good. Sliding through the support. I appreciate you. Tony Brown, 702, was good with it. Yeah, so I know that there are some people actually hit me up on the gram asking if I was going to go live during the Shakur Stevenson fight, asked me about, some post-fight thoughts. I haven't been able to construct those thoughts or post-fight thoughts yet, but that will be tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be going live talking about Shakur Stevenson and his most recent fight against Cansao, what I thought about the fight, what I thought about Shakur's performance, and then I'll also talk about the potential matchups between him, Devin Haney, Tank Davis, and whoever else may be out there to continue to test Shakur, right? So I'm going to leave that. I can really easily just get into it right now if I want to, but I want to save that for tomorrow. I'm going to try to knock out 3 videos, 3 lives back-to-back to end this month. So tonight will be my reaction to Deontay Wilder and his recent training. And then tomorrow I'll talk about Shakur. And then probably the day after that to end the month, I'm probably going to talk about Caleb Plant, Anthony Durrell, and also some other little things that I want to address that I've been seeing out here on YouTube to kind of finish the month out with a bang leading into October. October is a hell of a month, man. Hell of a month for boxing. I'm looking forward to it. And I also heard a few things through the grapevine in regards to Bud and Spence, as always, right? There's always something new every week. I'll leave my minimal thoughts about that, about the most recent thing that I heard. But for the most part, I'm not going to talk about it until the fight is signed and guaranteed. We got Tony Brown. I'll say you, Tony. Dom, appreciate that super sticker to kick things off with a little bit of donation. I appreciate you. We got Jeff in the building. What's good, Jeff? Thanks for dropping by. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull up the training footage that Deontay Wilder has recently displayed. I've kind of skimmed through it. I haven't really watched it. I wanted to give you guys my authentic, reaction to it, just, off the top, and let you guys know what I think about it. We know for sure, before, getting into the actual footage itself, we know that Deontay is obviously, based off of how we've seen his new physique, right? His new figure is much more slim. looks more reminiscent of Deontay Wilder of 2016, 17, 18, 2019, right? And can he reap the same type of prowess that he had back in those days? Even though he's a little bit older, can he still have that speed, that acceleration, the power, the reflexes, and all those things that he had in those years of just knocking dudes out, which made him who he is? We know that he bulked up against Fury, especially in the second and third fight. A lot of people came out and said that was detrimental to his success. I even myself said that I thought that coming in heavier was a gamble. He came in powerful, but he definitely came in a little bit slower. And carrying that much muscle mass, it requires a lot of oxygen to keep that engine moving. And naturally, Deontay has always been a tall, lean, fast, powerful guy, and I've always liked that about him. He's not like a massive heavyweight. I've always had an interest in heavyweights that is, they're not necessarily 250, 260. They're not necessarily 240. They're 215, 220 with speed, power, and they can knock those bigger guys out. There's always been an appeal about the smaller heavyweights, like a Mike Tyson, like a Jack Dempsey, like a Rocky Marciano, like small heavyweights knocking out big dudes. And Deontay fits that billfold, right? And the thing about it is, though, is not only is he a smaller heavyweight, but he just knocks dudes just like straight the fuck out. You know what I mean? And so I'm happy to see that. I think that he has come to the realization and has kind of essentially left that Fury trilogy behind him and dropped all of the emotions, the passion, and everything that he had involved in that, and said, look, let's get back to the roots. Let's get back to what Deontay Wilder really is. And I think him and Malik Scott has come to an agreement and come to an accord to get back to that. So we're going to get into the training footage to see the differences. One thing that I want to say before I start this video is that y'all got to remember when he was training with Malik leading up to the third fight between him and Fury, there was a lot of, the pad work was him setting up for power shots. There was a lot of, jab, 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 big right hand, big right hand, big left hook. And it was just a lot of big shots on the mitts. And, as fans, we got mesmerized by it, right? A little bit hypnotized, maybe. We're like, damn, this dude is coming in, bench pressing crazy weight. He's putting on a bunch of muscle. He's going on the mitts, and he's like ripping the mitts as hard as he can. And you hear that pow sound on the mitts, and we're like, damn, he's about to go in there and knock Fury out. Not realizing that maybe all of that was smoke and mirrors, right? Maybe all of that was something that not only Deontay, but us got too fixated on. You know what I mean? And so we're going to see, looking at this footage, if they've taken that part of I got to load up on shots and I got to set up between, like, I'm just throwing one to three shots, all power. And let's see if he does any boxing here. Let's see if he uses feints. Let's see if he uses, counters. Let's see if he's, doubling up, tripling up the jab. Let's see what he does here with Malik Scott. And I'm going to break it down. And you guys know how I do, man. I get scientific with this shit. We got CB Store. I see you, CB Sports TV, man. What's good? Jelly Bean in the building. What's good? I see you, man. I appreciate you guys coming in. Yeah, so you guys should know the drill by now, man. The likes should be all the way up. The likes should be going up every single time somebody enters the building. The likes should be creeping up. So make sure we do that. And I appreciate you for it. All right, let's go ahead and get this video, this footage rolling. And, I'll be giving my thoughts as we go. Yeah, right off the bat, it's I like personally, back in the day when when I used to work with fighters, especially Muay Thai fighters that wanted to improve their boxing skill. And the thing about Muay Thai is that it's very lineal, right? Meaning that you kind of face off against your opponent and you kind of just sit there. And because you have the legs, you get comfortable with using your legs as distance, right? You have the teep in Muay Thai, and you have the low kicks and shit like that. But what happens is that they forget how to move backwards. They forget how to move backwards and use the jab as a defense mechanism and as something to distract their opponent as well, right? You don't only have to use your legs to create distance, but you can also use your arms. And I've always liked, you notice how Deontay is not wearing gloves here. He's just wearing his hand wraps. That keeps his hands light, and that also helps him feel these pads that Malik is using. Right? It's not the traditional pads that go over your hands, right? So you're going to be able to feel it more. If you're wearing gloves, you're not going to feel it as much as Malik is using those pads, right? So it keeps your hands light, and it adds to the feel of it as well every time you make contact with those pads. Now notice right off the bat, Malik is stepping forward, emulating, what's up, Mr. Fish? What's up, big homie Coop? He's emulating the idea that Robert Helenius is going to walk forward. He's a bigger man, similar to what, Tyson Fury was the bigger man. We're going back into that routine of they're bigger. They feel like they can impose their will on you. And they're assuming, and it's not a bad thing to assume, because I also think that Robert Helenius is going to move forward in this fight. So we're going to move forward. So we're going to emulate that. We're going to get comfortable on the back foot, working behind the jab, using feints. And if Robert makes some mistakes and overcommits, we're going to make him pay with a big shot over the top. So right off the bat, that's what I see is, Malik coming forward and having Deontay stay on that back foot and moving and punching at the same time. Notice that he's just not moving. He's moving and punching at the same time. Right? Being fluid, staying on his toes, being comfortable. See, this just looks like a much lighter and more comfortable Deontay Wilder than what we saw leading up to the Tyson Fury third fight. Right away, he's using those shoulders to roll and to be fluid, staying light on his feet, using his hands not only as offensive attack weapons, but defensive, right? Deflecting. There is this idea, and I've always believed it. Y'all remember like the Karate Kid, right? When we did the whole wax on, wax off shit, right? And people think, they always refer that back to being, oh, that's a karate thing. No, it's a boxing thing. It's a mixed martial arts thing. It is a martial arts thing, period. The idea of punches coming in and you wax it out. You wax it out, you wax it in. You clear it out, and when you clear out the punch, you can counter, right? It's not just catching, but you turn that punch out. So imagine if you turn a punch out, you can come in on the inside, right? Punch comes in, you clear it out, you come on the inside, right? So this idea that it's only like a martial arts thing, aka karate thing, because we saw it in the 80s with the Karate Kid. Nah, man, this is a martial arts thing, a combat sports thing, right? And it's the idea of being fluid, punches coming at you, clearing out, whether you're clearing out to the outside or you're clearing it out over the top on the inside and coming over the top. Floyd Mayweather does it all the time. He sits back, he catches, right? He catches and shoots. He catches that punch coming in, he comes over the top. But he also moves with that shoulder and clears a punch out. He moves with that shoulder, clears the punch out, and comes on the inside. So we're seeing this is that Malik Scott teaching right here. We didn't see this very much with Mark Breland. Okay, and it's not me taking shots at Mark Breland saying that he's a less of a trainer. It's a different style. right? And let's not forget, and I've said this many times before, that Malik Scott was a heavyweight, right? Malik Scott was a heavyweight. So he understands how it is to move as a big man, and he understands how it is sometimes where heavyweights sometimes forget to use their hands. They got the gloves up, and they come forward and they try to knock out their opponent, right? They forget to move their head. They forget to bob and weave. They forget to be light on their feet. So Malik's coming in, being a heavyweight himself, understanding this. Mark Breland was a smaller guy when he was a fighter. Smaller guys fight different. That's just fact. If y'all think Mark Breland's a great trainer, that's fine. But let's keep it a buck though. Let's keep it a buck. Okay. You come in with a mentality and a history of fighting as a smaller man, and you're trying to train a heavyweight. It's a different ball game. So that's what I'm seeing here is Malik forcing Deontay to be on his toes and be fluid. Okay. And I like to see that. I do like to see that. All right, let's look at some more footage here. Let's continue to dissect this. Right? Notice how Malik loads up with the right hand, and notice how I like the movement here from Deontay. Instead of just, let me catch this with my gloves. Let's get back to what a lot of people have criticized Deontay for is not being defensively responsible, which I've never agreed with. Deontay has always had, ability to be fluid and move away from punches. And Malik is getting him back to that. Watch right here as Malik loads up. Not loads up, but, he throws a right hand, a right cross, and watch Deontay, slip out, right? And as soon as he slips out, he's back on his toes, and he keeps that left shoulder in a high position the entire time. And Malik is throwing stuff not at like super 100% fast speed, but he's releasing these simulated punches at pretty decent speed, and he's basically going through the motions with Deontay here to get back to moving your head. And Deontay just looking like literally 60 to 70% more fluid, lighter, more comfortable than what he did when I was looking at the footage of him training for the third fight against Fury. I mean, right off the bat. And I think that Malik probably wanted Deontay to look like this in the third fight against Fury, but, it's their first fight together. And I feel like Malik just filled the role. He filled the void, with all the emotions and all the things that were involved in that trilogy, where Malik he just stepped in and just basically was more like a mentor, a teacher, a motivator. And perhaps he didn't get into too much of the coaching. He was just there to help Wilder get through that trilogy. And essentially, maybe he just let Wilder kind of, I want to say do his thing, but kind of let Wilder, if you want to put on muscle, cool. You want to go in and knock the man out, cool. Like, I get it. It's a trilogy. You got a lot of things to get off your chest. So I think he just filled the role to help Wilder get through that trilogy. But now you can see Malik has got Wilder where he actually wants him as far as training is concerned and moving, right? And that's the thing, is moving. And you didn't see this very much leading up to that third fight against against Fury. You just didn't see this. This type of movement, this type of fluidity, right? And now Wilder's coming in with the combinations. So it's a little bit of defense, it's a little bit of offense, and never staying stuck in one spot. Never standing up flat-footed. Always moving, always thinking. Right? And we all know that boxing is a thinking man's game. The man who thinks the most and the man who outthinks his opponent 9 times out of 10 will win the fight. And those are people that don't realize, and if you've never been in the boxing ring before and ever trained with these type of paths that Malik is using, not only, is it something that, you can kind of punch a little bit and get into a rhythm with, but also, it has that it's extended, right? So it's going to add more extension to a punch that's being simulated, right? So it forces you to be even more uncomfortable. It adds an extra, whatever it is, 6 to 8 inches of reach. So it forces you to react even faster. And it's actually one of my favorite mitts to use, to be honest. Because if your fighter doesn't move out of the way like they need to get out of the way, you can kind of pop them upside the head with the mitts or hit him to the body with it or whatever, right? And it's good. I love the usage of the hands by Deontay. Just kind of parrying. Always looking for an opening. And he's parrying and moving. Blocking and moving. Not staying in one place. And that's what you got to do against a guy like a Robert Helenius, who more than likely, and to my estimation, is going to come forward and try to impose his will on Deontay. He knows he's going to come in bigger. That he watched the third fight against him and Fury. Maybe he feels like he can be the bully as well. Maybe he feels that he can just come in and rough up Deontay. So Deontay is showing that he's preparing for that. Quick, sharp jab. Notice the feints as well. And that kind of ends that little round. Or they're kind of, they're just going to wipe his sweat off a little bit. He looks like he's about 212, 215 right now. That looks like his weight. And I mean, you can see that speed and that athleticism starting to shine through like it used to at that weight. Lead right hand right there. It's very nice. And I like the fact that he's not trying to show off and have Malik wear, the normal pads and just load up a big shot. So we all know that Deontay's got power. The whole media knows that he's got power. The whole media knows that he can smack the shit out of a heavy bag or out of mitts. Stuff that we saw him do with Mark Breland and Joe, what's his name, Diaz, all the time. And this is something that, they're showing now. Like, we've been working on boxing. We're a student of the game. And I got a lot to my game than just, loading up on big shots. We're now refocused. We are now re-engineered. Now we have a new mission. We're coming out and reminding the people what the Bronze Bomber actually is. It's not just the Bronze Bomber of I got power and I'm waiting to land a right hand. It's literally reminding the people that you got to have skill, ability, and intelligence to be able to land that power. That's what got Deontay where he is right now, as being, the best, one of the best of this generation, a champion who defended his titles multiple times. It wasn't just, he just has this ungodly power and you just stand by and wait for him to land it. Like, that can only get you so far. You got to have skill and ability. So to me, this is a humble reminder, not only to himself, but all of the detractors, the haters, all the people that has said, Deontay was exposed against Fury and all this shit. He lost to Fury. But he wasn't exposed. Okay? It was a different Deontay Wilder. It was a whole different scene. The whole trilogy was a whole different scene within itself. It was like Deontay Wilder was no longer fighting on Earth. He was fighting on a different planet. His mind was somewhere else. He was a different person. He had a different mission. He found different avenues and basically hyper focused on different ways to try to get a man out of there that he obviously demised, and he went on a path of vengeance, essentially. But to me, man, look, like I said, this is a re-engineering. rejuvenation of speed, intelligence, and ability, something that people have been criticizing him for, saying that he has a lack of. And we know that, I was on here, what was it, a couple of weeks ago, calling out one of these damn YouTube content creators out here who were calling this man right here that we're seeing on the screen, showing these abilities. Right? Look at this ability right here. Look at the fluidness. Look at the skill. Look at the tangibles. Look at the hand placement, the hand speed, the defense, the ability. You can see that he's a man who can think. And you got people out here on YouTube calling him a pig wrestler, a guy who he has the physique, he has the look, he has the power, but he's got nothing else. That's what people are saying out there. That's what they want you to believe. But of course, the question is, if this is the Deontay Wilder that we're going to see on October 15th, and he shows a bit of slickness and speed and power, counters a shot of Robert Helenius with precision, like the sweet science is supposed to be, and knocks Robert Helenius the fuck out, what are these people going to say? Just like this dude that I had to go at, what is that dude going to say? What is he going to say when he shows slickness and speed and power and accuracy and knocks Robert Helenius out? What are you going to say then? Oh, we're going to say, oh, well, it was a lucky punch. Right? That's what they're going to say. They want to give a man any type of credit. And that's my biggest complaint. That's my biggest complaint about Deontay, or as a matter of fact, the people who hate on Deontay, is that, if you don't like the fact that he brought up accusations and da-da-da-da-da, if you want to die on that hill, then so be it. My biggest complaint is what I'm seeing right here on the screen is ability. And when you come out here and you say that this man doesn't have ability, all he is a pig wrestler and a hillbilly and a guy who is just a big, strong guy with power, and that's all he is. Not only are you disrespecting a world heavyweight champion, but you're disrespecting the whole sport of boxing. And for you to sit up on your pedestal and spew out that blasphemy to all of your followers and subscribers and have them chuckling and laughing, you ain't nothing but a fool. You ain't nothing but a fool and a hater and a person who claims to love boxing, but in fact, you ain't nothing but a hater. Mr. Fist, facts. That's what they're going to say. That's what they're going to say, bro. They're going to come out here and say, oh, Helenius hasn't fought nobody. He ain't shit. He's not Fury. That's what they're always going to say. Oh, he's not Fury, though. He can do that to Robert Helenius. He can do that to Stervine. He can do that to Ortiz. But it's not Fury, though. You see, Fury has been placed at the top of the mountain. And so that's the only thing people care about. As a matter of fact, even if Wilder beats Helenius and fights for undisputed at some point against Usyk and he knocks out Usyk, they're going to say, oh, but it's not Fury, though. He can beat all these guys, but he can't beat Fury. But guess what? It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter because Fury will always have 2 wins against Wilder. Well, yeah, 2 wins against Wilder in the trilogy. That's something that, I guess he can hang his hat on. But when it's all said and done, if Wilder beats Helenius, then he ends up reclaiming the WBC and then going up and knocking out Usyk. And then who knows, maybe he gets Andy Ruiz on his record as well. A guy that Fury will never fight. Fury will never fight Helenius. Fury will never fight Randy Ruiz. And Fury will never fight Usyk, and he'll never fight Anthony Joshua. So if Deontay fights Helenius, Ruiz, and Usyk and becomes undisputed, the fact that of him losing to Fury twice, all that is a little sidebar conversation. Oh, yeah, you know, Fury beat Wilder twice, but hold up. Damn, Wilder did all this? And not only did he become undisputed, not only did he beat guys that Fury never fought, but he also defended the belts when he had them way more than Fury did. And so that's all. I mean, that's what it's gonna be. So y'all can sit on your high horse and laugh and call Wilder a bum and this and that. But my question for y'all is this: like, what are you gonna say though? Because it looks like Fury's struggling to make this Joshua fight. He looks like he's struggling to make this Usyk fight. He's retired, he's not retired, right? He's always playing with the boxing fans' emotions. And if you were a Fury fan, I would feel disrespected. At least Wilder said, hey, I'm coming back. He comes back, and now he's fighting Robert Helenius. He's a man of his word. He's a man of his convictions. Now, you may not like his passion. You may not like his sensitivity level. You may not like the fact that he takes things to heart and says things that, you know, is untraditional or going against the grain. But fuck it. You know, that's what rebels do. That's what people that have principles do. And they may not be right. They may be over the top a little bit. But I would rather be friends and have respect for a person that has convictions, principles, and passion than I would be friends with the guy who is a liar, a deceiver, and a fucking bullshitter. See, there are two different things between being a liar and being a person that feels something and is asking questions, which, by the way, were never answered. St. Louis Mix, bro. What's good, man? Corey in the building. I see you, bro. So I guess my question for the Fury fans is a simple one. If y'all want to hang your hat on the idea that Fury beat Wilder, and y'all Wilder fans, y'all, when are you going to get over it? When are you going to accept it? Well, I can't speak for all the Wilder fans. But for me, I can say I'm over it. I've been over it. As a matter of fact, it's you people that keep bringing up Deontay Wilder. Like, Fury fans keep bringing up Wilder. Like these content creators out here. Every time Wilder makes a comment, when he's interviewed, I mean, he's got a fight coming up. So, of course, he's being interviewed, right? So anytime Wilder makes any type of comment or answers a question, because the media they continue to ask Wilder questions about Fury. It's not like Wilder's going out there to make a point about Fury. He's got a fight coming up against Robert Helenius. He's got bigger plans ahead of him, right? But the media continue to ask him about Fury. And when he answers these questions, content creators out here go apeshit and they start making videos about, oh, y'all, yeah, did you hear what Wilder said about Fury? Yeah, basically, he said that he doesn't want to be friends with Fury. What kind of fucking shit is that? Yeah, why does he not want to be friends with Fury? He wants to be friends with Ortiz, but not Fury. Like, just dumb shit like that, right? But y'all know why y'all continue to talk about Wilder? You know why? Because Fury isn't doing shit. He ain't doing shit. Are you going to fight Joshua? Oh, you're not going to fight Joshua. Oh, you're going to fight Usyk now. Oh, never mind. I can't get the fight made. Right? He ain't doing shit, so you got nothing to talk about. And the only thing that you have to talk about, to hang your hat on, is to go around here and talk shit about Wilder. Oh, I will see. Fury, he was the one who beat Wilder twice, man. Shit. Well, what the fuck is he doing, bro? He's a heavyweight champion. What is he doing? He took the belts off the man that you hate, that you despise, that you wanted to see lose, The man takes the belts away from Wilder, and what the fuck is he doing? He ain't doing shit. But you see, Wilder comes back. He could have retired and sailed off into the sunset. But he comes back. So I guess my question is, okay, so you're hanging your hat on these victories. I got you. You're hanging the fight. You're hanging your hat on these 2 victories. I got you. But what really matters in the end? What really matters in the end? If Wilder beats Helenius, reclaims J.D. Walker, the boss talker, was good. Ex-outlaw was good. If Wilder beats Helenius and somehow reclaims the WBC, beats Usyk for undisputed, gets his hands on Andy Ruiz, who, by the way, I mean, is not out of the question because Andy Ruiz just beat Luis Ortiz. He's coming off a victory. He's looking for big fights. Who knows? Maybe Wilder fights Joe Joyce, who just recently won and looked good. Fighting all these guys. If he beats all these guys, and Fury doesn't do shit, what does that say about Fury and his legacy? That is an honest question to ask. That's a fair question to ask. You can say, Fury was the one who beat Wilder twice. But when the history books are written, Wilder would be an undisputed champion. He's going to fight 5 or 6 more fighters that Fury never faced off against. Andy Ruiz, an ex-champion. Potentially Usyk, former undisputed. Anthony Joshua, former champion. And all Fury's really got is Klitschko and Wilder. An old, washed-up Klitschko and Deontay Wilder. That's all he's going to have on his resume. So in the end, it won't matter, those 2 victories over Deontay Wilder. And it's very easy, right? It's not this shit is not rocket science, man. I mean, how many people would agree with me if I were to say that even though Ken Norton gave Muhammad Ali a hell of a time, you can argue that Ken Norton was actually Muhammad Ali's biggest nemesis. But in regards to all-time great heavyweights, who is above one or the other? Is Muhammad Ali above Ken Norton, or is Ken Norton above Muhammad Ali? It's what you do. You can have a nemesis. It's boxing. Right? Another reference would be Willie Pep and Sandy Sadler. I'm going into the history books now for a moment. Right? Who's above who in regards to all-time great list or the division in which they fought in? Willie Pep or Sandy? Even though Sandy Sadler got the best of Willie Pep in their crazy 4 fights, or I think they had 4 fights, in which Willie Pep I think lost 3 out of 4. Right? But who is above on the all-time list? Of course, it's Willie Pep because of his overall accomplishments. There will be a side note saying that, Willie Pep, one of the all-time greats, but he had a hell of a time with this guy named Sandy Sadler. That was his nemesis. Now, Sandy Sadler will automatically be catapulted above many fighters because he did give a great fighter, Willie Pep, one hell of a time. But that doesn't mean he's going to surpass Willie Pep on the all-time great list. That's just the way it goes. And this is how the legacy of Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury will unfold. And Tyson Fury has nobody to blame but himself. The Tyson Fury fans have nobody to blame but themselves, or Tyson Fury himself, because this man refuses to actually fight for legacy. And he can beat his chest and say, I'm the one who beat the Bronze Bomber. That's all you got, bro. Ken Norton beat Muhammad Ali. Sandy Sadler beat Willie Pep. I guess you can die peacefully knowing that. But when it's all said and done, you are not going to be above Deontay Wilder. Just like Sandy Sadler was not above Willie Pep, and Ken Norton was not above Muhammad Ali. TD, I see you in the comments. I see you, bro. He says Wilder's biggest fight outside of Fury is an old Luis Ortiz, but you don't mention that. Well, you just did. So thanks for mentioning that. Okay. Fury's got an old, washed-up Klitschko. Other than that, he's got Deontay Wilder. So I think, any way you want to cut and slice this, TD, it's very simple, bro. I'm going to go back to my question. Right now, Fury's not doing shit. Right now, Fury is saying he's going to fight Joshua, but then he's not going to fight Joshua. Then he says he's going to fight Usyk, and then he's not going to fight Usyk. Right now, TD, Fury's not doing shit. Facts. Wilder, as you can see on this screen right here, is preparing to get back into the ring against Robert Helenius, who, by the way, is on a 3-fight win streak. 3-fight win streak. No Dillian White, bullshit that Tyson Fury went back. He fought Dillian White. Dillian White has been looking like shit for a while now. Robert Helenius is coming back on a 3-fight win streak. Not coming back, but currently on a 3-fight win streak. Yeah? Wilder is on a mission, very clearly, as shown right here on the screen, bro. He's on a mission. So my question to you, TD. My question to you, TD, is this. When it's all said and done, right now what we know is Fury's not doing shit. Okay? You can say, oh, he tried this, he tried that. Right now, he's not doing shit. Deontay Wilder is active. If he beats Robert Helenius, he's got Andrew Ruiz on the horizon. He's got Anthony Joshua, who, by the way, I don't think is going to fight Wilder. I never thought that Joshua will ever fight Wilder. That is my opinion, okay? But nonetheless, on the horizon, you got Andy Ruiz, a guy that Tyson Fury will probably never fight, who, by the way, is a former champion, who, by the way, is the one who beat Anthony Joshua. He's got Anthony Joshua, and he's got Usyk. He's got 3 big names that he could potentially fight once he beats Robert Helenius. Even beating just 2 out of those 3, TD, puts him above Tyson Fury. So it doesn't matter. We can sit here and dissect the resumes all we want. Well, Wilder hasn't fought nobody but Ortiz. Oh, well, Fury hasn't really fought nobody but Klitschko. All that shit don't matter, bro. What matters is what's going to happen from this point on. And to me, what I'm seeing is that Wilder is determined to move past the Fury trilogy and go for bigger and better things. What is a bigger and better thing, TD? What is a bigger and better thing? Undisputed. Jerome King was good. So, like I said, man, we can sit up here all we want and say, Wilder ain't fought nobody. Or at least Fury's got Klitschko. At least Fury beat the Bronze Bomber twice. Well, guess what? What it's looking like right now, bro, Tyson Fury's career is going to end on those 2 notes. An old Klitschko and beating Wilder twice. From what I'm seeing right here, what I'm seeing on this screen is that Deontay's on a mission and Fury is not. Fury is acting like he don't give a shit. Right? So it is what it is, bro. And Mr. Fist, I didn't even get into the whole PEDs, the cheating, none of that, bro. Like, we can put all that to the side. We can put all that to the side, man, because then people get upset. They get their feathers all ruffled up. Okay, let's just keep it. Let's just keep it straight down the line, nice and simple. Right now, Deontay Wilder's active. Right now, Deontay Wilder's on a mission. He's coming back to continue to make history. And rather you love him or hate him, TD, Deontay Wilder has made history for being one of the most devastating knockout heavyweight punchers of all time, bro. Something that Tyson Fury will never accomplish. Okay? The fact that he defended his titles multiple times is something that Tyson Fury has not done. Period. Right now, Tyson Fury is in the UK drinking whiskey and watching boxing pass him by. Now, you can say whatever. Oh, he tried to fight Usyk or he tried to fight Joshua. Well, he ain't tried hard enough, bro. What I saw from Fury was, what did he say? Oh, yeah, I'll fight him, but it's going to cost you. I need X amount, and I started putting stipulations on shit, which were automatic roadblocks for undisputed, bro. You set up roadblocks for yourself to complete and accomplish legacy. That's what Fury did. So it doesn't matter what you say. At the end of the day, my question to you, sir, is when it's all said and done, if Fury never returns back to boxing, because he's the one that's, I'm retired, I'm not retired, back and forth, playing with boxing fans' emotions. If he never does come back and Wilder continues his journey to become undisputed and in fact becomes an undisputed heavyweight champ, will you, sir, TD, say that Wilder is in fact above Tyson Fury when it comes to the all-time great heavyweight list, despite the fact that Fury beat him twice? Will you, TD, acknowledge that? That is my question. And I'll wait. And I will wait. And while I'm waiting, for all the people that have just came into the building, I appreciate you. Make sure as soon as you step into the building, that jab button has been, the like button has been double jabbed, right? Get the likes all the way up. I see my man Tay in the building. What's good, Tay? I appreciate you stopping by, bro, as always. Let's get back to why I wanted to make this video, which is a reaction to this new training that Deontay Wilder is putting on display here. We notice the weight change. We see that he's lighter, he's more fluid, he's sharper, he's using his visions, he's using his reactions, he's on his feet. You can see how Malik Scott is emulating Robert Helenius, potentially. We don't know, but there's a high possibility of Robert Helenius thinking that I'm going to impose my will, my size, just like Fury did. I'm going to walk forward and put pressure on Wilder. And notice how Wilder is on the back foot, slipping, maneuvering, parrying shots, keeping his hands out in front of him at all times to push away shots, parry them, and counter. Using the jab, using his reflexes, and using his athletic ability. This is the Deontay Wilder that we fell in love with on his way up. This is the Deontay Wilder that displayed athleticism, pure athleticism, right? Maybe not the most technical, maybe not the most experienced, but pure natural athletic ability which earned him a bronze medal in the Olympics and which propelled him to the top of the heavyweight division by being a champion and defending his championship belts multiple times is his pure, raw athleticism and God-given power, right? When you have raw athleticism, natural, which is a natural God-given ability, by the way, like you can improve your athleticism. But athleticism, just like power, is something that you're born with. It is God-given. Either you have it or you don't. You can make it a little bit better. You can make tweaks. But you either have it or you don't. It's just like a guy who is 14 years old and it can already like do a 360 dunk on a basketball. You know, like this God-given ability to be able to have a ridiculous vertical jump. Either you have it or you don't. You don't have to train for it. You can just do it. That's Deontay Wilder. He doesn't need to be the most technically gifted. He doesn't need to be the most technically sound or the best boxer. All he's got to do is have the fundamentals on point. All you need is the fundamentals. And your speed, your power, your athleticism will shine through. Because you have those God-given abilities. God-given abilities, ladies and gentlemen, takes you a very long way. I see my man D-O-double-G in the building. What's good? Appreciate you. We got Juice TOS in the building. I want to highlight this from my man Tay. 100% facts. He says, they say Wilder a bum, but they praise Fury for beating a bum. Where the fuck they do that at? Make that make sense. And this dude TD, who I think has disappeared from the chat, because normally, you know, when Divine Sin starts cooking and starts asking difficult questions, they disappear from the chat. So my thing is this. I heard you say earlier, TD, that Dillian Whyte is better than Robert Helenius. I think that's debatable. I've never, ever been impressed by Dillian Whyte. I think he's soft on the inside. That's what I think. And I think the fight against Fury was one of the most pathetic performances that I've seen from a heavyweight in a very long time. Tell me I'm wrong. And if you want to come in here and say, oh, well, no, Fury's just so much better. That's not the only reason why Dillian Whyte got knocked the fuck out. Dillian Whyte made it abundantly clear from the press conference that he was just there to get paid. He was there to show up and get paid. They're out there tickling each other, laughing and joking and hugging each other. Like they're best mates who sparred each other, and we're just gonna put on a show and I'm gonna knock you out, all right, bro? Like you're gonna get paid. Just, you know, take an uppercut right quick. That's what that was. It was a pathetic and disappointing performance by Dillian Whyte. One thing I can guarantee you about Robert Helenius is that he's not going to lay out like that. He's not going to lay down and be soft like Dillian Whyte. He's not going to tickle Deontay Wilder at the press conference or at the weigh-in. He's not going to tickle and hug and be buddy-buddy with Dillian Whyte. They might shake hands because they have mutual respect for each other as men, but there ain't going to be no fucking tickling. That was the most cringe-worthy shit that I've ever seen in my entire life. And no disrespect from anybody from the UK, but I must say, this tickling and this banter and talking about each other's like dicks and all this crazy shit, like y'all think that's funny over there in the UK? Well, it's a hard thing for us to digest over here in the States. I ain't gonna lie to you. And it was cringy to me. It's cringy. So we're sitting up here, man. I appreciate everybody dropping in. Make sure you guys got those likes all the way up. Every single person that has hit that like button, I appreciate you immensely. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and drop in a link to come in here. Anybody that's out there that has had a problem with anything that I have said, you can come in here and leave your thoughts. And in the meantime, if there's anybody in there that also want to share your thoughts about how Deontay looks, you like what you see, you don't like what you see, you're worried about this, you like that, I'll open it up. Y'all can come in and leave your thoughts. All right, I just wanted to refresh my screen real quick. It's a little bit blurry. All right, so I'm back. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in the chat. Like I said, you can either come in and share your thoughts, or you can come in and have a disagreement if you got a disagreement. But for me, like I said, man, I feel like Deontay Wilder is back to where I want to see him. He looks like, and maybe Tay, if he wants to come in here, he can let us know. But he looks like he's anywhere from 250. I don't think he's any more than 220 right here on the screen. And let me pull it back up for you guys. So I see you, K-Rod, in the background, bro. I'll bring you in here just in a second. So we had a few people in here coming in here defending Fury in the chat. This is your opportunity. I mean, the chat's going to bop you up out of here if you want bullshit. So I can't control that. They feel like you're on bullshit. They're going to bop you up out of here. But I give you an extra opportunity to click the link and come in here and let us know what you think. But I don't feel like I've said anything that isn't true.
Yo,
what's up, K-Rod? What's on your mind, bro?
not much. I just wanted to just chime in on Wilder's improvements. He's looking very, very dangerous. I'm really liking how he's, applying his counter right and using his, his left hooks a lot more. And he's just looking like a younger version of himself, but just like a more new and improved fighter. And I really wish him and Malik Scott did this like a long time ago, because like imagine Wilder coming into the pros like at like 23 or if not younger, doing this type of stuff. I would like this type of style to be like applied more. Especially to more heavyweights, because like not a lot of heavyweights are really gifted to do stuff like that. So I like the improvements that Wilder's doing, and I'm definitely excited to see what he does with Robert Helenius, because I think he's going to brutally stop him.
Yeah, and that's a good thing you brought out, or you presented, which was the hooks, the check left hooks and stepping in with the left hook and stepping back out, and sometimes you don't want to overcommit with the left hook. You want to step in and then get kind of stuck in no man's land. You want to stick it in and pop back out. And if you're able to land it flush, you get your opponent wobbled a little bit, and naturally that'll lead into a nice right hand coming through. And I just like the fluidity, right? Just nice and fluid on his toes, pumping out the jab, not overcommitting, constantly moving his head, keeping his shoulders up nice and high to deflect shots that are coming back. And, they're kind of emulating the idea that Robert is going to come forward and I'm going to be on the back foot and I'm going to be looking for counters. I'm going to be using my hand speed, my intelligence, my athleticism. And we're going to make Robert miss and then make him pay. And the funny thing is a lot of people always say all Wilder's ever done is line up a 1-2, right? Jab, right hand, jab, right hand. But you got to go back and look at a lot of Deontay Wilder's knockouts. There are a lot of knockouts where he countered people. And sometimes he took a shot to give a better shot and knock dudes out. So this idea that he doesn't know how to use counters, he doesn't have the ability to be defensively responsible, is just untrue. And the thing is that people are, you're always as good as your last fight. And people always remember, Fury 2, Wilder Fury 2 and Wilder Fury 3. And they look at Deontay, they see him getting hit. They see him not putting his hands up. They see him tired. They see him not being able to move around and all these different things. Let's take the second fight and place it to the side and focus more so on the third fight. To me, it boils down to one or two things maybe. One is he was clearly way too heavy in that fight, right? Carrying around way too much mass. He comes out early and literally putting in all of his weight into like a jab to the body in the first round. And was trying to hurt Tyson with jabs to the body, which is uncharacteristic. But in the end, you can tell that the oxygen levels were depleting very early because he was carrying so much muscle mass. And the other thing that is very apparent in that third fight is the fact that, I think Malik, like I said earlier, if you guys just came in, is that Malik came in at a time where Deontay Wilder was basically fixated on vengeance. I mean, that's the bottom line. We can cut it and slice it however we want it. That's where Wilder's mind was on vengeance. It was violent. And Malik recognized that he's not going to be able to come in and completely retune Wilder. It's just too late for that. He stepped in as a friend, as a mentor, as a teacher, and just basically said, all right, man, I'm going to implement a few little things, which we did see. We did see it in the fight. We saw, the jab. We saw a little bit of tactic that we didn't see when he was with Mark Breland. But it was just little shades of it. But the fact is that Malik came in at a time where Wilder was not mentally capable of retuning his whole entire arsenal. He was too fixated, like I said, on vengeance, and his mind was violent. So Malik just stepped in as a friend to be there to guide him through that fight to see, well, maybe we can knock him out. But now you see it. Now you see why Wilder wants Malik Scott in his corner. You see the retune philosophy. You see the changes. You see Wilder going back to his old self. You see the left hooks. You see the jabs. You see the movement. You see the defense. You see him thinking. You see him thinking and not just loading up with shots, which is what we saw a lot leading up to the third fight between him and Fury. And that gives us, as Wilder fans, comfort, of course. Another thing that I said for people that just came in is that we got to remind ourselves that Malik Scott has a lot of beneficial things in his training because he is a bigger man himself. He was a heavyweight himself. He matches Wilder in height and in size and reach and all these little things in regards to physicality that Mark Breland simply just couldn't do. I mean, you can call me a hater of Mark Breland all you fucking want, but this is facts, right? And I'm not saying that smaller guys can't train heavyweights, but you got to look at Wilder's training camps before. You had JD's and you had Breland holding mitts for a big, strong, powerful heavyweight. You can only do so much, right? A lot of heavyweights have bigger guys that can hold mitts, to work in training camp, especially if their head trainer is a smaller man. right? And we don't know if Wilder actually had that, right? But now, not only does he have a bigger guy who can hold mitts and use them properly and strategically, but also is the head trainer as well. So you have constant support and guidance through your head trainer. So I want people to think about that and how beneficial that is. We also got Willie back here, man. It's been a long time, Willie, man. I appreciate you stopping by, bro. Hope you're good out there. Go ahead, man. Let us know your thoughts.
Thank you, man. Can you hear me?
I hear you, bro. What's good?
Okay, for sure. Just watching Deontay Wilder train, I've seen him knock Helenius out like 20 times already. He's looking real nice. I like the elegance, the fluidity, the finesse that Malik Scott is bringing to the table. And I'm excited to see what Wilder brings to the table. I like the happiness that Wilder...
There?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Oh,
Kayla, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, something happened with Willie. Willie, if you can hear me, man, just drop back in. I'm not sure. Maybe your mic cut out.
All right, I'll drop back in.
I can hear you now, though.
I think it's because I'm at the gas station. Let me just finish and I'll get back.
All right, cool. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. Come back in. I just replaced the link back into the chat if anybody else wants to drop in and leave your thoughts about Wilder and what you see and what you feel. And you know, at the end of the day, man, I mean, I don't have anything to hide. I never hide behind shadows or behind walls. I'm a Deontay Wilder fan. I have been a Deontay Wilder fan since probably 2013, 2014, when I was on here on my older channel talking about him, when a lot of people were just like, well, one day he'll just get stopped. He'll get knocked out. You know, he's got power, but that's it. And that's what people were saying back in 2013, 14, when he was on the rise, coming up and knocking dudes out. And I said, no, man, this man is special. I kept telling people, this man is special. He's going to be a heavyweight champion. And when he became a heavyweight champion, especially I think when he beat Bermain Sterveen, people were like, oh, he got lucky. Right? And then he comes back in the rematch and outboxes the man for 12 rounds. There's nobody said he can box. It was all he got is power. He comes in, proves a point, and they still didn't give him credit. They still didn't give him any credit for being able to box. And to this day, they still say he can't box. And I like the fact that Deontay is you know, when he's doing this what do you want to call this, open workout, right? And he's basically doing this on purpose, in my opinion, right? No gloves on, wearing hand wraps, and showing his athleticism and his abilities, showing that he can do a lot more than just load up with big punches and smack the mitts around and put on a show and make loud sounds with his punches. And people are like, oh, yeah, you know, it's power. He's showing that he can do a lot more. He's showing that he can go forward, he can go back, he can move laterally, he can duck underneath, he can slip shots, he can counter, etc. And so this is a prelude, ladies and gentlemen. This is a prelude to what we're going to see on October 15th. So when he puts on a phenomenal performance with speed and accuracy, if he knocks out Robert Helenius before 5 rounds, only thing that I'm going to say in my post-fight thoughts is, well, we shared the footage of his training. That was the prelude. And, you know, like, I'm not surprised. My question would rather be, yo, like, are you gonna give him any credit now? All you haters, are you gonna give him credit now? Oh, but Robert Helenius is a bum. He's been a bum. Okay, Robert Helenius is a bum, but Dillian White wasn't a bum? When he basically showed up in the fight against Fury like baby shit. That's what he was. Soft as baby shit. But that wasn't a bum, though. That was a phenomenal performance by Tyson Fury. Did you see that fucking uppercut, bro? That was the greatest uppercut that I've ever seen. That is how the media portrayed it. But when Deontay knocks out Robert Helenius, not just with a lucky punch, but literally systematically knocks this man out with hand speed, athleticism, accuracy, and intelligence, right? Are people going to come out? Is the media, rather? Fuck people, because people be talking shit regardless. But will the media come out and say, like, wow, Deontay Wilder of old, old as in before Tyson Fury, when he was on his reign of terror, he's back. And everybody is in the crosshairs right now. Anybody can get knocked the fuck out by Wilder. He's on a new mission. Are they going to build him up and praise him appropriately like they built up and praised Tyson Fury, which in my opinion was inappropriately, because Dillian White looked like dog shit. And I don't expect Robert Helenius to come in there and just be intimidated, be scared, or be soft like Dillian White. I don't. Any thoughts on that, K-Rod?
Yeah, I agree. I think, when people criticize Wilder, they just think Deontay Wilder is just like the type of guy that doesn't test himself with all the best possible opposition. But when you look at his resume is better than every single heavyweight in, any current generation. Out of all the heavyweights in, this last century, Deontay Wilder's resume is probably one of the best resumes, probably next to, I wouldn't say like super duper great, but when you look at the level of opposition and the amount of, push that Wilder wanted to get these big fights, you could easily, see why his resume is for what it is, because Wilder, he was like one of the most heavily avoided heavyweights in that, particular period. And, arguably he should have had Vladimir Klitschko on his resume already. He should have then beat Anthony Joshua. Tyson Fury should have been out of the picture back in 2015 when Wilder had, his opportunity to beat Romain Stavern for undisputed. So I just think based off of how everything was kind of put together, Deontay Wilder was never supposed to be at that position of being successful. So that's really why people try to trash him, to say he's a bum, he doesn't do this and that. But when you look at all the other heavyweights that were coming up with him, they didn't do half of the amount of work that he tried to do to try to get the division to be, competitive. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but predating to the Klitschko era, they didn't do shit for the heavyweight division. They actually ruined the heavyweight division. After Klitschko brothers got their titles, what did Vitaly and Vladimir do? They just basically just sat around, wait for a mandatory, and that was pretty much it. They didn't want to fight each other because why? They were brothers. That doesn't make any damn sense. It's if you guys are both boxing in the same division, then that doesn't make anybody, fan wise, wanting to like you. So I just find that to be really very messed up and scandalous that people would say that, these are the heavyweight fighters that you need to look forward in, looking up for those, legendary statuses. But it's when you look at how they were moved as fighters, they're not good fighters. They've been moved a certain way to not really do anything spectacular in their career. So, either way, I look at Deontay Wilder as one of the game-bred throwback fighters next to Jack Johnson, Joe Louis, all those guys. Deontay Wilder is a classical game-bred prize fighter. He doesn't care, about being perfect with with a undefeated record, in which arguably, he is technically undefeated, in the regard that he's basically destroyed every single opponent that he's fought, and he's never looked defeated in any form of a fight. So that just shows like Deontay Wilder, he's probably one of the most deadliest fighters that, not many fighters would would be confident to say that they would ever want to fight him. So either way, Deontay Wilder, he's a legacy bred fighter, and he's just basically one of those rare breed heavyweight fighters that not a lot of people want to really respect. So that's pretty much my thoughts.
Yeah, and I want to speak on something you just said. You said that Wilder has, essentially been undefeated because he destroyed every opponent that he's ever faced. I don't know if I agree with that entirely, but I will say this. Wilder has literally put every single person that he has fought on the canvas.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, which is crazy because
he never made
the thing that people the thing that people have to realize is this, right? Is that, Fury fans, they hang their hat on the idea that, oh, we stopped Wilder, we beat Wilder, this, that, and the third, right? The thing about it is that if you pretend, and people say, they use words like Fury destroyed Wilder, Fury demolished Wilder, Fury was light years better than Wilder. Your man had to get off the canvas, bro, a total of 4 times in 3 fights. And in the first fight, and that 12th round, let's not mince words here. Let's not play games here. The fact of the matter is that multiple times throughout boxing, when a fighter gets hit the way that Fury got hit and bangs his head off the canvas and his eyes roll to the back of his head, referees call fights off right away. Now you can say, oh, well, Jack Reese, it's a heavyweight fight. He gave Fury the chance to get up. That was good refereeing. If that is your opinion, fine. But what I'm saying is that we cannot dispute the fact that referees call knockdowns like that a knockout. They call it off right away. And, okay, it leaded into a trilogy because of that heroic 12th round. He got up off the canvas and all that shit. It built into a trilogy. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is that Tyson Fury nearly got knocked the fuck out. That's literally why we had a second fight. Right? The third fight, what people have to understand is that Wilder knocked down Fury the first time he knocked him down with that straight right hand that shook his whole goddamn body. He did that when he was already gassed. Wilder was barely moving his legs, and he still dropped one of the biggest, if not the biggest, men in heavyweight boxing on his ass. Then he gets up and Wilder knocks him down again. And then you have this weird sequence where Russell Mora kind of redirects Wilder and the count is stopped and whatever. And then you have this big debate on whether he did it correctly or incorrectly. But it doesn't matter what Divine Sense Boxing says. It doesn't matter what, these smaller channels out here try to point out. The narrative was, Russell Mora did a fantastic job refereeing. But at the end of the day, your man got dropped multiple times in 3 fights. And the only thing that you say to that is, oh, well, that just proves how much heart and how tough Fury is. That's fine, but where is the credit to Deontay Wilder? But you know what? It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. Because, like I said, when he knocks out Robert Helenius and he campaigns for undisputed, Fury's going to be watching in the backdrop. And the only thing Fury's going to have to say is, oh, well, he's undisputed. Well, I'm the one who beat him twice. It won't matter. It won't matter. Because when the history books are written, your man's going to be below. He's going to be below Wilder on the all-time heavyweight great list. Simple as that.
Could I add on top of that?
Yeah, before you do that, just want to shout out my man Platt Boys dropping in late, dropping in that super chat as well, man. Much love and appreciation, man. Always good to see you. I'm glad you made it in. Yeah, go ahead, K-Rock.
Yeah, I was just gonna add on top of like my statement of like me saying why Deontay Wilder destroyed every single fighter that he fought. He's never looked bad in any of his fights, predating to like the Fury fights. So when you look at the severity of his fights, he's always coming out on top because Deontay Wilder's style makes a fighter basically break down. So either way, regardless of what you want to say about him, Deontay Wilder is a very dangerous threat heavyweight to the point of when he hurts you, it's basically game over. So you can't say Deontay Wilder is a bad fighter. It's just that Deontay Wilder is a very deadly bred fighter. When he gets into those exchanges with you, and the minute he touches you, his power, if not his fundamental skills that he naturally possesses, gives a fighter that that massive disadvantage where they can't come back from it. And I'll even put Gervonta Tank Davis right next to Deontay Wilder because they're basically pretty much like the same fighter, not in style but just in severity of what they possess, as like a naturally born fighter. But when you get into that motion to think that they're not that good, and the minute that they hurt you in that fight, your whole game plan gets basically shaken off from the entirety of you having like a certain strategy to beat them, because you can't really prepare for them. They're very unpredictable fighters, and with Deontay Wilder's case, it's not just his right hand; it's how he sets up his shots to be successful in the event of being a massive threat. And he only has to be perfect for 1 second. You have to be perfect for at least 12 rounds to make it through with him. So if you can't handle that from Deontay Wilder, then that pretty much serves like my case of why Deontay Wilder has destroyed every single opponent, because he's never been at a massive disadvantage in a fight. And I guess if you want to say stylistically from any of his fights, arguably, Luis King Kong Ortiz was like the closest man to actually give him his most most difficult fight ever. But Deontay Wilder found ways to beat him because he had that one hitter quitter, and he had the better fundamentals to set Luis Ortiz up, for the right shots to become victorious in both of those fights.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I agree with 95% of what you're saying. And I see people coming into the chat. GM, you've been lurking around the chat. We got these other weirdos in here. You see that link that I just put in the chat? If you feel so strongly and you're upset about what's being said, click that link and come in here and speak how you really feel. Only bitches go into the chat, make a little comment, and leave. And the funny thing is, I want people to understand this too. The funny thing is that you have to subscribe to the channel in order to fucking comment. That is how pathetic it is. So, right there at the link, and if you missed the link, it's pinned up at the top of the chat too. So it hasn't gone anywhere. Okay, Nigel, then click the fucking link, bro.
Click the link. Click the link, bitches.
With your bitch ass. Click the link, Nigel. And I know you're from the UK. I fucking know you're from the UK. Yeah, no need for a link because you're a bitch. Get the fuck out of here then. With your bitch ass. We're not even talking about Fury. We're talking about Wilder. We got Wilder playing here in the video. You come in here and you see Wilder training, and for some fucking reason, it agitates you. Why does it agitate you, bro? Why? You break me. Okay, you break me. Man, get this bitch up out of here, bro. Someone get this motherfucker out of here. Little bitch ass.
Pussy.
10 years in MMA. See, that's what they do. Oh, I'm in MMA. I do taekwondo. I do karate. I do wrestling. I'll break you this. I'll break you that.
MMA doesn't make you tough. Just to let you know. Get knocked
Click the fucking link. Click the fucking link.
Click the fucking link, pussy.
If not, see, that's the thing, wrenches. See, when we're out here cooking, we're talking boxing. There's nothing that has been said during this live stream that has not been fact. Okay, we're talking about the sport. So when people come into the chat and they start saying dumb shit, tell them to click the link or you're gonna be fucking blocked. That's it. Click the link or you're gonna get blocked. Because you're not coming in here to talk boxing. You're coming in here to hate. So that's what I need my wrenches to do. Is to come in here and say, when you see some dumb shit in the comment section, like, oh, yeah, he's going to fight some motherfucker said he's going to fight a 40-year-old Finnish guy. And who the fuck is Fury fighting? He's fighting the remote and a bag of potato chips and a glass of vodka. And a line of cocaine. That's what he's fighting right now. So click the link or shut the fuck up. So in the meantime, wrenches. You see dumb shit, you tag them and you say, yo, if you don't like what Divine's saying, click the link. And if you don't click the link, then you're going to get blocked. Simple as that. And it's sad. It's sad that you got to subscribe to the channel in order to comment. That's desperation.
Inspiration. Yeah, what's up, Dwayne?
Willie. I see Willie back in here, bro. Hopefully you got everything sorted out with your mic, man. Let the people know. We've been waiting for your thoughts, bro.
Yeah, I had to try it again. Can you hear me this time, man?
Yeah, we got you good now.
All right, for sure. My fault about earlier, bro. Man, I'm just I like how Deontay Wilder's looking right now. And he's the lightweight, the fluidity, the finesse, all the stuff that Malik brings to the table. I feel like this is the most dangerous Deontay Wilder. And I'm not just saying that because I'm excited to see him back. I really like how he looks on his toes more. I see the speed. I see the combination punching. I think he'll knock out Helenius in the 7th round. I want that to be on record. I know you're probably going to wait to give your official prediction, but I wanted to go ahead and put that on record. And that's if Helenius doesn't do something stupid and get himself knocked out quick, because Deontay is looking real sharp. And then the sky's the limit from there. I'm really excited about this second reign of Deontay Wilder's career. He's looking nice in camp. I'm also liking what Don House is bringing to the table with his power punching and just trying to load up on shots without telegraphing them. I've seen a lot of the mitt work he was doing with Don House, and Don House brings a lot of the killer fighting, and Malik Scott brings more of the boxing. So I like how things are looking. I got him over any heavyweight right now.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing, man. That you just brought up, that nice little combination between, boxing and that what's the word I'm looking for? Like that factor of, being an animal and digging deep, and that finishing aspect. So you have both, right? It's you have the ability now to set up shots and then finish. When you finish what you started, essentially. Rather they decide to break down Robert and then get him out there in the middle rounds, or rather they just say, we're going to let Robert come forward and we're going to catch with something big. If we wobble him, we're going to finish him. And yeah, you're right. I'm going to wait to give my official prediction here. I'm probably going to do it right on October 1st, which will be exactly 2 weeks out. And I'll drop my official prediction on both the Wilder Helenius fight and also Caleb Plant and Anthony Durrell, since they're both on the same card. That makes sense to do it then.
Oh man, I wish so.
Yeah. We got Patrick Edmond in the building. He wants to drop in that super chat. Respect. Well, respect to you, sir, for sending in that donation, man. Much love and appreciation to you, and thanks for dropping in tonight. Look, the thing is, man, is this is something that I was preaching on, and it was funny the other day, man. I was listening to Wilder speak, and he was talking about his future plans, and he's talking about how, I'm going all the way to the top. This isn't just me to fight Robert and put on a show. Like I got a mission. This is the second reign, right? I'm coming up there. I'm going to retake these belts. I mean, he's made that abundantly clear now. And so he said that, right? I started thinking like, yo, Deontay looks like he looks hyper focused right now. You know what Deontay Wilder looks like to me? He looks like the part where Superman, he kind of gets fucked up, right? And he's got to go and fly out of the fucking atmosphere and get close to the sun and get re-energized. And the sun like re-energizes him. Then he comes back to Earth and he just lights some fucking shit up. That's what I see with Deontay right now, right? He's found that rejuvenation, that refocus that he needs to come back and be on a new mission. And part of that rejuvenation and the evidence of that is that he's dropped that weight. You can see he's more relaxed. He's more focused. He looks fast again. He looks like he wants to think. He wants to be tactful. He wants to be a tactician, not only just a boxer, which makes him way more dangerous than a guy who's just fixated on vengeance, trying to land a big shot. Makes him way more dangerous. Now, Mark the Reaper, I see you, bro. It's good. The Diesel also in the building, man. I see you. Bronkies Boxing dropping in, man. I see you, man. I appreciate you. I want to say this about Robert Helenius, because I feel like we might be just kind of discrediting him a little bit and making it seem like this is going to be an easy fight. The reason why, there seems to be confidence from myself, from K-Rod and Willie as well about Deontay. That's not only the fact that, he clearly looks better physically. He also sounds better when he speaks. He sounds and looks better mentally as well, and spiritually. All of those things matter, right? But it's not just that. We also have to remind ourselves that Robert Helenius, to give everybody a friendly reminder, because not everybody watches boxing, not everybody's a diehard boxing fan. We'll send out a friendly reminder that Robert Helenius was in Deontay Wilder's training camp leading up to the Wilder-Fury third fight. Robert Helenius has sparred multiple rounds with Deontay. You can say that they both know each other a pretty decent amount, right? But I want to remind people of this. Robert Helenius was sparring Deontay when Deontay was probably 25 pounds heavier, and Deontay was fixated on nothing but, vengeance and power, and possibly, I don't know, because I wasn't there for the sparring, but possibly a man who was just, looking for a big shot, practicing to line up a big shot, because his whole tactic was to knock out Tyson Fury. He wanted and needed and was fixated on knocking out Tyson Fury. So he's sparring a man who was heavier and not using as much tactfulness as he is right now that we see on the screen. So he's going to see a different Deontay Wilder than what he sparred leading up to the fight between him and Fury, the Fury in the third fight. So we have to take that into consideration. Helenius was sparring a 240-pound Deontay Wilder. And now he's going to be fighting a probably 215-pound Deontay, who's going to be faster. He's going to be more fluid. He's going to be more defensively responsible. He's going to have a proper game plan. He's going to be focused and confident. And also, and more importantly, he's going to have a better engine because he weighs less. And he's basically wearing a fitted glove right now. Very comfortable at this 215, 216, whatever it is weight. He's going to be, like I said, like a fitted glove, man. Feeling very, very comfortable. And I think that matters. So it's not just, oh, Robert Helenius isn't good enough or Robert Helenius is an easy win. No, it's all these small little details, these small, intricate, but very important details that matter and why myself and probably many others are confident about Wilder's comeback. And it's no shade at Robert at all. I think I said since the beginning when they announced the fight that I feel like Robert is a very credible opponent. And he's a threat, and I want to make it crystal clear that this is a Robert Helenius. This is not Dillian White coming to a press conference or a weigh-in tickling Tyson Fury before their fight. Clearly not interested, clearly not determined, clearly not, motivated. I mean, very clear. Helenius is motivated. Helenius actually has something to fight for. He has, an objective. He's on a mission as well. He's on a 3-fight win streak. He wants to keep that streak going. And I believe that Helenius is gonna put it all on the line. And so don't be surprised if Helenius gets dropped, gets back up, tries to fight on. Don't be surprised if Helenius really tries to smother Deontay and use his weight and try to bully Deontay on the ropes. Don't be surprised at those things. Any further fights on that, K-Rod or Willie?
Yeah, I'm honestly, I was just gonna add on to say I wish Subriel Matias was on the card because obviously for those that don't know, he got screwed over by the IBF with Ponce trying to make up that weird excuse saying that he can't fight Subriel because of his visa issues, but it's he never brought that up to his attention. So now, Matias, he's basically off of the card, and I just find that to be so messed up because it's I kind of feel like he's being treated like crap, similar to Deontay Wilder in a way. They don't want him, to be successful, but hopefully he can, get his opportunity soon. But I'm definitely looking forward for Plant and Darrell. I think Plant's gonna beat Darrell, pretty easily, and I think Darrell, he just has he has a good style, but but the problem with Darrell is just that he's a very how should I say, I don't know if you can agree with me, but he's a very limited fighter that just looks for a knockout. He doesn't really go in there trying to outbox you. He's really trying to stop you. So I just think based off of what Plant is gonna come in with, it's gonna be very interesting because I'll be on record to say if Caleb Plant comes in blazing hot and just beats up Anthony Darrell and he looks way different from the Canelo fight, then I don't want to hear nobody saying that Caleb Plant is a bum because he's a certified. He's a really, really good fighter. I don't care what anybody says. He's with Bones Adams. He doesn't need anybody telling him that he sold his belt to Canelo, in which, granted, I'm just pissed off at Plant for him saying to Canelo, saying, hey, am I good for 21-0? Yeah, that got me, pretty mad. But still, if Caleb Plant comes out, dominating Anthony Darrell, then that means two things. One, David Benavidez knows that Caleb Plant is a bad style matchup for him. And two, Anthony Darrell, that's a good certified win because not only you come back from the Canelo loss and you beat Anthony Darrell, but that just shows that you're a way more devastating fighter to your caliber of what you've gotten better throughout, that entire timeline. But overall, the card is lit. I'm definitely looking forward for Emmanuel Rodriguez versus Gary Antonio Russell, if that fight is still going on. I think that's going to be a barn burner. I think both guys are going to try to come in there trying to knock each other out. But I think, sadly, I think Gary Antonio Russell might edge that out because Manny, he's a good fighter, but I think Gary, he's just more athletically gifted than Manny. But I think that fight's going to go the distance, and I think it's going to be a very close, close decision for Gary, Antonio Russell.
Yeah, y'all can tell that K-Rod loves boxing, man. He doesn't wait around. He drops his thoughts and predictions right off the top. I would love to chop in on or to chime in on Plant and Durrell as well, but I'm gonna exercise a little bit of discipline here. I'm gonna wait until I drop my prediction video. But I will say this: I like the bad blood between the two.
Even rougher for this guy knowing.
And I appreciate the fact that either Durrell is serious about what he's saying, or he is playing into trying to get into Plant's head, trying to sell the fight, trying to see if he can find a weakness in Caleb Plant. And I like that because it's an unknown factor that may or may not play a role in the fight. I personally think that Durrell is agitated at Caleb Plant. I feel like he thinks that Caleb Plant has got more accreditation than what he has had in his career. And I do believe that Anthony Durrell believes that he's done more. He's been around longer. But all of a sudden, this guy, Caleb Plant, gets a big title shot against Canelo, and I didn't get it. So there's a little bit of envy and jealousy there, in my opinion. And I think that's real. And I think when he says that, fuck this dude, like he doesn't deserve this fame and this spotlight. Like I've been around and nobody was appreciating me. But all that is, to me, is just a little bit of envy, But at the end of the day, they're going to have to talk with their fists on October 15th. And, I agree, like, in regards to the styles, Anthony Durrell is not a guy that you can just count out. He's not a guy that you can just say, this is an easy win for Caleb Plant. It's not. Anthony Durrell has shown in the past that when he's focused, he's a dangerous fighter. When he's determined, he's dangerous. It's just going to come down to it's going to come down to a few things with Caleb Plant. Number one, has he mentally recovered, like fully recovered from the Canelo loss? Has he let go of it? Has he moved on? Has he refocused? And what's his fitness going to be like? Because that was one of the problems that he had against Canelo. Like he burned himself out. He put a lot of energy on because Caleb Plant has a style he moves around a lot. He jabs a lot. He left hooks a lot. He ducks underneath shots a lot. And he expends a lot of energy than his opponent. Now, against Ustakaki, or however the fuck you pronounce his name, he was able to drop him, which helped him kind of, because if you go back to that fight, he started to gas out a little bit at the end of that fight too. But because he dropped him and did so well in the first, 7-8 rounds, he was able to secure the victory. So I want to see Caleb Plant, look good and sharp for 12 rounds. If it goes that far, I want him to look sharp and in shape for all 12 rounds. That's going to give me confidence. And the reason why I say that is because he needs that type of endurance. He needs to prove that he has fixed that problem because it was clearly a problem in the Canelo fight. He's got to prove that he fixed that because David Benavidez is going to be relentless for 12 rounds. Okay? He's not going to stop. He's going to keep coming forward. And the only type of style that beats David is that boxing style, which we know that Caleb Plant has. But you got to have the endurance to keep David off of you for 12 rounds. Just like Mayweather had to do against Maidana in both fights. You got to keep a guy because Maidana's engine was very, very good when he was in shape. So, it's those little things that I'm looking for. And I can't wait for a Plant David Benavidez fight because These two men also have history. The press conference to that fight will be amazing. It'll be full of a lot of trash talking, a lot of bravado. And I think that fight is very possible just simply because I don't think Canelo wants to fight Benavidez. And Benavidez, he doesn't have that many great options, and I don't think he's going to make a fight with Charlo. I think David is – I think – not that David doesn't want Charlo or Charlo doesn't want David. I just think maybe the weight class is too much of an issue right now. But Caleb Plant makes sense. He's a true 168-pounder. He's long, he's rangy, he's quick, and it's a fight that you can sell very, very easily just because of their history. So that's what I'm looking forward to. But look, man, we spent some time, looking and evaluating and dissecting Deontay Wilder and how he looks coming back. We're only, what is it, like a little over 2 weeks left. He looks in great shape. I just want him to, be smart about his training. Don't overtrain. Find that sweet spot with your weight and maintain that weight. If it's 218, stay at 218. You're a heavyweight. You don't have to worry so much about, cutting weight. Find that perfect weight, maintain that perfect weight, and just continue to fine-tune those skills and those natural abilities that you already have and continue to implement that game plan. And about 4 or 5 days out, you should be ready to go. You should be ready to go, and get a sauna, get an ice bath. All that hard training is done. Relax your body. Come back on October 15th or, come out October 15th and get the job done. Make it clear, make it convincing and make people turn their head and be like, damn, like Deontay Wilder is seriously back. Look at and the talking point will probably be the fact that he looks so much faster, fluid, accurate, all these different things, and a lot of it's going to be based off the fact that he's coming in lighter, and rightfully so. That should be the talking point because people need to recognize that he came in too heavy against the Fury fight. It's not about making excuses, but it's about recognizing mistakes, right? And it's like LeBron James, losing in the finals. It wasn't because LeBron James wasn't good enough. It's because there were mistakes made. And at this level, when you make mistakes, you pay the ultimate price. And part of that was him coming in way too heavy and gassing himself out very early. Because imagine if Wilder had the energy, he would have knocked out Tyson Fury in the third fight. I have no worries about that whatsoever. If he would have came in at the appropriate weight and had the energy to withstand Tyson Fury being able to get up from knockdowns, he would have eventually finished the show. But he just physically couldn't. He had all the heart, but physically he just couldn't do it anymore. And it was based off the weight. And it's as simple as that.
Hey, Devon, I want to add something on the Robert Helenius versus Wilder fight.
Yes, sir.
Did y'all hear Robert Helenius say that he was just going to duplicate what Tyson Fury did in the third fight? I was watching an interview where he said he plans on pretty much duplicating what Tyson Fury did in the third fight. I wanted to get y'all thoughts on the fact that is he giving his game plan away? Is it mind games? I think he honestly just blatantly gave his game plan away, which was a foolish move to me. But I wanted to get your perspective and K-Rod's perspective on just your thoughts on him saying that he's going to duplicate what Tyson Fury did in the third fight and how you see him trying to recreate what Tyson Fury did in the third fight and how that would play out for him.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. This is a big fight for Robert, probably the biggest fight of his career. Deontay has more experience dealing with media, being in big fights and being careful and not giving away game plans. This is something kind of relatively new for Robert. And I think it's very possible that he just kind of word vomited, but I'm not surprised because that's what I expect anyways. Robert is a rugged, come forward, kind of beat you up type fighter. He's tough. He's gritty. He's got heart. He can take shots. And he can give shots. So in my opinion, he doesn't really have a choice anyways, but to come forward and try to smother Wilder like Fury did. He's not gonna bounce on his toes and outbox Wilder, right? He's not gonna sit in the pocket and try to counter Wilder. So I mean, he kind of gave his game plan away based off of, like I said, like media inexperience, but at the same time, it's like it was kind of already established anyway. It's not like a big secret has been revealed. He's not a guy that has multiple styles. He just doesn't have that ability. And that's why I see in the training footage with Malik where, Malik is imitating, right? That I'm coming forward and forcing Deontay Wilder to get comfortable being uncomfortable, if that makes sense. Being on the back foot, jabbing, slipping, using his movement, and countering with big shots over the top. So my thoughts he did kind of expose his game plan, but it doesn't matter. I think everybody kind of expected Helenius with his style to come forward anyway. K-Rod, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, same here. I don't understand why he would say that. That seems like it's either smoke and mirrors for you to get stopped because Wilder already knows you. So why would you want to say something that's not going to be tasteful, to let the public's, eye of seeing that, type of statement be made. And then on top of that, you don't fight like Fury anyway. So, nobody's not expecting you to come out of your way to actually do like anything that would be controversial in the fight. But if he knows how you fight and you think that you're just going to do the same thing that Fury did to him, then I think that's technically overlooking Deontay Wilder's skills and abilities because you don't think Wilder is the same fighter. But like I said, Deontay Wilder is one of the most deadliest fighters, in all of boxing. So if anything, you could say all you want about Wilder, but the minute he hurts you in that fight and you're in survival mode, that basically shows that you're not really game bred to actually back up your words, because not many people really say a lot of stuff towards Deontay Wilder publicly. But I think what the thing is that when fighters have this ultimate confidence of thinking that Wilder is vulnerable, they don't realize Deontay Wilder, he's he's not really the one to talk crap about other fighters, and he just keeps everything to to himself. But the minute you try to discredit him or try to think that he isn't this good of a fighter, then that's where that that one edge factor comes in, where Deontay Wilder, he proves a lot of haters wrong, in his fights, because he basically feeds off of that. So I think Robert Helenius is going to be, looking at this fight as this fight is going to be my victory. But, once Wilder comes in with a different mindset and he's not playing any games, then I think Robert Helenius, he's in big trouble. And I think Helenius, he's going to come into this fight, overlooking Wilder.
Yeah, I don't know if he's overlooking him. I just think that it's just inevitable. It's the will of the gods. It's the will of the universe, however you want to frame it. Wilder is coming back. He's on a mission. And like I said, he's been rejuvenated by the sun. You can't stop it. It's a fucking freight train coming forward. And unfortunately, Helenius is standing in the middle of the train tracks. And he's going to get ran the fuck over. But he'll earn a lot of respect. I have no doubt that I'm going to be giving him nothing but respect when the fight's over, for trying his best, for putting everything on the line. I have admiration for fighters. He's going up against a monster. Let's face it. Not only is Deontay Wilder a monster, but he's a guy with experience. He's been in some of the biggest fights. He's been around. He knows how to deal with emotions going into a big fight like that. We don't even know, Robert Helenius is, he's been on some undercards and things like that, but this is his biggest fight. We have to take that in consideration as well. he's now in the main event of a fight, and everybody's looking at him. And there is a certain type of pressure on Robert Helenius because Wilder's coming back from a knockout loss. And it wasn't just like, oh, he got caught with a shot like Lennox Lewis did against Rahman, right? He took big shots in that third fight and then eventually got stopped. So a lot of people don't have confidence in Deontay on his comeback. They just don't. And they're looking at Helenius and they're like, all right, he's not the best heavyweight. You know, he lost to guys like, you know, Gerald Washington and stuff like that. But he is on a 3-fight win streak. So can he emulate Tyson Fury? Can he continue to ride this wave of momentum that Tyson Fury left behind? So there is some pressure on Robert Helenius for sure. So the question is, can Robert handle it? Can he handle that pressure? It's a very silent, you know, pressure where not a lot of people are talking about it. But the moment he enters, actually, I would say the moment they do the weigh-in is where I think he's going to really start to feel that pressure, where people are going to start coming up to him and being like, hey, can you do what Fury did? Are you going to be able to do what Fury did? And he's going to start to have that pressure. He's going to feel like, man, I have to perform at this level that Tyson Fury did, essentially. And so either he'll embrace it or it will get to him. And so Wilder naturally coming off of a knockout loss, a lot of people don't have confidence in him, especially, I mean, the haters are laughing at him. They think he's a bum. They think that Robert's going to expose him. They think he's washed up, all this other shit. I mean, it's stuff that I've seen on YouTube already with people's predictions. A lot of people think that Robert's going to knock out Wilder. A lot of people think that Wilder's done. And they think all of this flashy workout on the pads and whatnot with Malik don't mean shit. It looks good, but he's done. You know, Fury took it out of him. And he's got nothing left. You know, Robert will catch him with something and beat him up and knock him out. You know, that's what's out there right now. So there's obviously people out there that, number one, thinks that Wilder's done, and there's also people out there that just simply think that you know, it might be a decent fight, but, you know, Wilder is going to lose. So there's a lot of that out there. But I think that, I hate to say it, it sounds so cliche, and I say it all the time, but I have to reiterate it, man. At the end of the day, you know boxing or you don't. And people can say whatever the fuck they want to say about Wilder and the fact that he got beat by Fury and he's done and this, that, and whatever. I'm telling people right now, I've been talking about this sport for a better part of a decade. I've been in and out of the ring since, you know, 1994. Right? I've been around for a long fucking time, and I'm telling you right now, the footage that I've seen of Wilder here in his training, I mean, this man, like I said, man, he's been rejuvenated by the sun. He's coming back. This man's on a mission. And there's no doubt in my mind that he looks at Robert, right? And he's like, I got a lot of love for Robert, but unfortunately you're standing in my way and you got to get knocked the fuck out. And I hope that I don't hurt you too much so you can go back home to your family. That's the type of energy that I'm reading from Deontay, man, in his interviews, in his charisma, in his demeanor, the way that he's training right now. And right now, Helenius he thinks he's a roadblock. He thinks he's a blockade, but he ain't nothing but a wooden gate that's going to get fucking crashed through by a freight train. That's just the way that I see it. But that's kind of like a little appetizer to what my prediction is going to be. But in regards to a little bit more thorough and dropping a little bit more gems and giving you guys, you know, my prediction based off of, you know, what round or how it's going to end, y'all got to wait a couple more days. And I'll drop that prediction along with Plant and Durrell. And, man, I'm on a streak right now. When it comes to predictions. I think I've got like 6 or 7 in a row with big fights. So I'm looking forward to keeping that streak alive. So make sure that you tune in to my prediction. I'm not sure if I'll go live or I'll drop a video. It depends on my schedule. I might just make a video and drop it. But make sure you don't miss that, because if you're a person that bets on fights and you like to make money, you need to tune into Divine Sense Boxing predictions, because not only will I give you the winner, but I'll give you a roundabout rounds. You know what I mean? I told everybody that Triple G is going to lose by decision against Canelo. And it was like, nah. Canelo's going to knock him out. So, look, y'all better pay attention, man. Especially for those people, like I said, that like to bet, that like to try to not only predict the fight, but get that round, too, to get that bonus. Because if you predict the rounds or roundabout what round it is, you get that extra paper. So, make sure you tune in and get that and listen into that prediction. But in the meantime, tomorrow I think I'm going to go live again around the same time, probably about 10 o'clock Eastern. I'm going to go live and I'm going to talk a little bit about Shakur Stevenson, his performance, my thoughts about his most recent performance against Constantine. I'm going to talk about Devin Haney and Kambosa's rematch and the potential of, Shakur and Devin Haney matching up. And I'm going to throw Tank Davis in there just for kicks and giggles as well. And that's the next topic for the next live. So y'all stay tuned for that. Gentlemen on the panel, thanks for dropping in. Any final thoughts? Go ahead and let the people know. Let's start off with K-Rod.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. Y'all can find me over at my channel, KRod7435. I just post like a lot of gaming and sports content. I just mainly focus on just, posting on, those genres. But if you guys want to go check me out, check me out. I also have a podcast too. I upload various, amounts of episodes based off of whatever topics that come to mind. It's been mostly boxing, but I'm trying to branch out soon to other topics. But other than that, thank you for having me on, and can't wait for Deontay Wilder.
Most definitely, man. Thanks, K-Rod, for dropping in, bro. Willie, any final thoughts? Feel free to drop it out, brother.
Yeah, I just want to say that the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder, the Alabama Slammer, is back. I'm super, super excited just to see him do his thing and to see how this next reign goes. This is going to be a great one. I like how Malik has his feet looking. I like how Don House has his power punches looking. It's looked like he did a smart thing by putting his team together and for them to go ahead and not give up on it and have another go at it and continue Deontay Wilder's career. I actually plan on seeing his statue when I get a chance, and this is just awesome. He really is a living legend, and the hate don't bother me. There's so much hate out there, but the hate don't bother me. I don't worry about that. It's nothing but love for Deontay Wilder, nothing but love for boxing. You can find me in the chat of just so many different channels that I rock with, and I stay away from the ones that I don't rock with. I just stay out the way and show love where I feel the need to show love. So shout out to Divine Sense. And it's a few other channels that I know Divine rocks with that I rock with, you know what I'm saying? And, that's where you can find me. I pop up here and there, and then if I don't pop up, then I still probably hit the like button. You just don't know about it, So it's all love, and I'm ecstatic for what's going on in the heavyweight division of the sport of boxing because Deontay Wilder is back. Honestly, with the heavyweight division without Deontay Wilder is just completely different, and it feels good to have Deontay Wilder back. So, hey, I'm excited to see what you got coming up in your prediction. I got to check that out for sure, and just everything else going on, man. Salute to you, Divine Sense. Thanks for having me on, man.
Most definitely, man. And before you drop up out of here, bro, how do you think those Suns are going to do this year?
I got high expectations, but I hope I won't end up disappointed, man. But I definitely have high expectations.
Well, it's definitely that they have some unfinished business, man. After that display against the Mavericks in Game 7, that shit was a travesty. But I agree with you, man. I think they're rejuvenated, and and hopefully the Arizona Cardinals can get their shit together too.
Seriously though, man.
Yeah. All right,
I
man. Well,
pass
we're
by
gonna get
your
up out.
old neighborhood like all the time, bro. It's funny. I think about it when I'm over there in Maryland.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Maryland, all that area. Trevor Brown High School, man. That's my old stomping grounds, bro. Yeah, man. So hopefully, bro. Hopefully, Willie, man. I'll be back in the States at sometime, maybe at the end of this year, beginning of next year, and maybe we can link up, bro.
For sure, man. Got you.
Most definitely. All right, everybody that came in and dropped the super chats and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you guys immensely. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. Deanna will be one of the first ones to tell you that when I go live, y'all are not getting notified. And then all of a sudden you realize, oh shit, I missed it. And then you got to go back and try to find it and listen to it. So it's super important that you hit that notification bell. That way, every time I go live, y'all don't miss it, man, because, I'll be out here chopping it up and giving you guys, that boxing analysis. So hit that notification bell. That way you're notified. You get that little ping on your phone. And in the meantime, man, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Once again, I appreciate everybody. TS Boxing, I see you, bro. You might just be dropping in, bro, but we chopped it up for a bit, man. I'm going to get up out of here. It'll be uploaded. You can rewind the tape, get my thoughts about Deontay Wilder's training. I'll be back on here tomorrow night around the same time, about 10 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to talk a little bit about Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and Tank Davis. So make sure y'all tune in. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Stay up, stay strong, stay positive. It's your boy Divine. I'm out.